All right. Hello. So I'm going to try a different type of blog post this time. Instead of writing my thoughts down, I'm going to speak my thoughts out. Maybe that'll be more enjoyable. Maybe that'll be less enjoyable. Maybe it'll be easier on me. Maybe it'll be harder on me. We'll find out. It's not bothering me. So basically, today the thing that I learned, I didn't learn this today. I wrote it down in my notebook. A while ago. I don't know, but I'm going to speak about it today. It's an unfinished idea that I would like to finish and share with the world, share with my blog. So I'm gonna try to prove to you guys that the world in and of itself and nature, nature itself is not bad. That nature is good in and of itself is a good. The world is good. The world and nature are one for the sake of the argument, and they're good. Here's why. So when, let's say, if a bad person does something bad, like you have a murderer, for instance, and the murderer goes around, murdering people, of course, like, it's a terrible thing, and you acknowledge that a terrible thing just happened, but you're not going to be surprised that the murderer, who is known to be a murderer, went and murdered people. That's to be expected to a certain extent, and vice versa. If you have a especially good person who helps people, then goes around and helps somebody new, helps a grandma across the street. You're not surprised. It's to a certain extent to be expected. So the same logic, the same concepts can be extended to speaking about the entire world. To speak about nature. Nature. When a natural disaster happens, particularly when bad things happen in the world, we are shocked, we are surprised. We might be able to see certain natural disasters, coming a few days in advance, but by that point, they've already, to a certain extent, happened. They've already started to happen. It's not that, we can't. There's not much we can do to prepare to stop it or anything. It's happening. It's happened, and we're surprised about that. If let me see what I wrote down here real quick. We're shocked when bad things happen in the world, and if the world was inherently bad, like I mentioned earlier with the murder example, if the world and nature was inherently bad, we wouldn't have been shocked. We would expect it. We would say, "Oh, okay, well, it's just like a natural hurricane in Florida." Still, even though there are so many hurricanes in Florida, even though there's so many earthquakes in California, if there's a big one, if there's a bad thing, we're surprised. If there's a little one, we're still kind of surprised, but we kind of laugh it off. Still, it's surprising. We don't expect an earthquake in California. We don't. People in Florida don't expect hurricanes. People in Kansas, I don't know if they expect tornadoes. I don't know anyone in Kansas. That's besides the point. So I'm not saying that I would never, God forbid, say that we should expect natural disasters to happen. We should not expect natural disasters to happen. That would give some evidence to the opposite argument. That would give some evidence to say that the world is inherently bad. And I'm saying that the reason, because we are surprised when these things happen, because we continue to be surprised, and these things continue to happen. It's not that it's like a new phenomenon. Now we have natural disasters. This new, because we have natural disasters occurring, and they occur sometimes on schedule, sometimes off schedule, but either way, we're surprised every time. And because that happens, because we are surprised, that means to say that inherently the world itself and nature itself is good. It's not bad. How does this apply? What kind of, to a certain extent, why does this matter? A lot of people in colleges, and I guess outside of colleges as well, they'll think to themselves that the world is such a terrible place, and it brings people down. It depresses people. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to do work because the world is terrible. The world's out to get me. Nature is bad. People are bad, and everything is bad. Nothing's going my way. But here is a little bit of proof to go against that. That the world in itself is not bad, and you can also say the same thing about people. If all of a sudden you stumble across a bad person, you are surprised. After you know that the person is bad, you're no longer surprised when they do a bad thing. But the first time you see the person doing something bad, you're surprised. Because people inherently are not bad. Inherently, people are good. Sometimes people do bad things, and then we get surprised at first. We get used to it over time because we associate them as a bad person, which is not the best association. Maybe I'll do a video on that another time, or a blog post or something like that. But for the time being, after we know that somebody repeatedly does bad things, we know that this person lies every day, so we know this person's a liar. Don't trust everything that they say. Yeah, vice versa as well. We know that this person's a good person. We know this person helps out people all the time. We know that if you meet somebody good, you're not really surprised. Maybe if you live in certain communities, you will be surprised. But in that case, I would recommend getting out of that community. But for the most part, you meet somebody good. You meet somebody who helps people. Or you meet somebody who's nice. You meet somebody who gives you correct information, things like that. You're not surprised. They're good by nature. We expect them to be good by nature, and they fulfilled our expectations. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's good, a bit longer than I expected it to be. Let me know what you think about video versus text, I suppose. And yeah, enjoy. Have a good day.